morning, everyone. This brief is unclassified. Please hold all questions at the end of this briefing. My name is Specialist Braham, and today I will be talking about the foundation of Army leadership. What is the foundation of Army leadership? It is teamwork. It is teamwork, mentoring, lead by example, inspire, proficiently communicating, and assuming responsibilities. So let's start with teamwork. What is teamwork? Teamwork is a group of people working together to serve a common goal. I remember one day I was at org day with my company, and my NCO called me and he was like, "Specialist Braham, we need you at the DFAC." Naturally, I was upset because I was having fun. Then my NCO went on to explain that they need me at the DFAC because there's only 3 people to put out a dinner meal. Now, I know that putting out meals can be hard, so I went ahead to the DFAC and helped my battle buddies out, because that's what a good soldier do. You help your battle buddies when they are in need. And to me, that's working as a team. The next attribute is mentoring. What is mentoring? Mentoring is taking a lesser experienced soldier and showing them the right way to do things while guiding them. The next attribute, or rather, there's a quote by Commander Stanley Crystal. He said, "Leaders can let you lead and yet not let you be a failure. Instead, they push you to move past your failures, learning from them and not bringing down your spirit in the process." Very powerful. Just think about that. The next attribute is inspire, or lead from the front. To me, leading from the front means that taking advantage of everything the Army has to offer. For example, I enrolled myself in college. Why? Because I want to better myself. I want a better education. I went ahead and I enrolled myself in FAST class. Why? Because at some point in my career, maybe I want to switch MOS or do a different job. So I take advantage of every opportunity given to me. And believe it or not, soldiers and NCO alike tend to watch what you do. If you're a bad soldier, everybody's gonna know this. If you're a good soldier, everybody's gonna know this. I prefer to be a good soldier where everybody notices what I'm doing, so everyone can try to follow my lead. And that is what I think inspires people to be better soldiers. Another example of someone that inspired me is Commander Captain John Stevens. Commander Captain John Stevens, he was in Kuwait, 2002, doing security. When he heard about Operation Anaconda, the Army went into Afghanistan and was devastated. They had a heavy casualty. Learning of that, Captain John Stevens, he called up the chain of command. And asked if he could volunteer his company to fight the war in Afghanistan. To me, that is very inspirational. Why? Because the captain wouldn't send his soldiers to do something that he wouldn't want to do himself. To me, that's bravery. It takes bravery and courage, and that's someone I would follow personally. Training soldiers. When a soldier first joined the Army, they start their training at basic combat training, then they move on to AIT to do their MOS training. But for some reason, when new privates come to the unit or the DFAC, it seems like they have no idea how to do their job. As a specialist promotable, when I see a soldier like that, I tend to take him under my wings and train them and how to actually make a product. For example, making bacon during the morning. Soldiers, tend to burn at least 5 or 6 sheet pans of bacon for no reason. And to train that soldier, what I do is I give him a recipe card, I have him read it over and over until it is stuck in their brain, right? And then throughout the day, whenever I see that soldier, I ask them a question about, what did you learn? How did you learn? What method do you use to get to the end product? And then that soldier would tell me what he learned about reading recipe cards. And to me, that's good. To me, that's good training. That shows that the soldier is training according to the Army standard, and that's what I like. Proficiently communication. What is that? It is basically communicating clearly to someone. It is being able to read body language or face expression, what have you. Let's say you have a soldier that walks up to you and they have a short case, but you notice their body language that they don't really want to talk to you about it. As a specialist promotable, what I would do, I would refer that soldier to someone that is more qualified than me to handle the situation. Therefore, that soldier is getting the answer they need and the guidance they need from that person to move forward with their situation. And to me, that's good communication skills. Assuming responsibility. What is that? Assuming responsibilities is, taking charge in the absence of leadership. So at one particular Friday, I was at the DFAC, and Sergeant Jones, he was a shift leader. But then he had to go home because he had an emergency at home. Sergeant Jones left right when we were at our most busiest, and people started just flooding in. So I see this, and I noticed that the food line was dwindling. So I took the initiative and went to the back and asked rations for more starches, more vegetables, and more meats. I did that so that we didn't run out of food. And that's just one example of me taking responsibility in the absence of leadership. In conclusion, foundation of Army leadership is teamwork, mentorship, training, inspect, lead from the front, and proficient communication. There's a quote by Henry Ford. He says, "Come together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success." And that concludes the end of my presentation. Does anyone have any questions?